Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Piece of Pat Paints. I'm Pat. I paint various pieces, mainly just miniatures. This light's not on. There we go. Yeah, that's a little better. Makes my face look a little bit better. I definitely need a shower today. My hair is getting a little greasy. I've been having to play like Super Taxi lately, which is fun. We have one of our vehicles is down, and like when you live out in the country. And you got to take people into, well, we're not in the country, because we're like way out on the edge of the town. The big megaplex that is now becoming Oklahoma City, Midwest City, whatever. Anyway, when you only have one car, it makes things a little crazy. So we've been playing like Super Taxi like the last 2 days. So it's put me like behind on a lot of stuff. And one of them is some of my my personal hygiene routine has been hijacked. So, we're definitely going to, as soon as we get off this thing, we're going to take a shower and wash my greasy hair. Although it gets greasy fast when it's long. I mean, I showered yesterday, but usually I shower every morning, and I totally missed today. Because I had to get out the house. You should definitely shower like every morning. I don't know why I put that over there. It's going to make it hard to drink out of. Just put it back over here. I had it in the first dang place. So, anyway, it's a wild morning. Just one of those days. The market's going crazy. And the world's going crazy. And yeah, we just hang out and paint miniatures. Because what else are you going to do, right? Just hang out and do this. And watch the world go crazy around us. Right? That's a good thing to do. Almost done with these slats. I think I've already got these guys. They're on bases. We're going to finish flocking them. We can get the flock out of here. That way they'll look more like this. Get these guys here. And that's just a pebble. I bought that one. I think that's a Army Painter product. Which I'm glad I have a bunch of this stuff. A lot of this stuff is getting ready to be like harder to get because a lot of this stuff's manufactured in China. And so if you're a gamer out there, make sure you get a hold of your stuff now before the prices start changing, because it won't be immediately, but it's going to happen. The price change will come pretty fast. I'm glad I have a lot of these paints already, and the gaming industry is going to get hit pretty rough. So, if you're a gamer, you might want to stock up now before it comes after you. Now, luckily, I have a 3D printer, and I'm sitting on plenty of juice. Looking for that little tiny tube of yellow ochre. I found it. There it is. I had found it and lost it and found it. I'm trying to use this little sucker up. I've had this thing forever, and I have a big one. But I want to get this little one used up because, golly, I mean, I've had to use the other one several times since I bought it because I couldn't find this little tiny tube. I'm trying to get rid of all these little ones. They make me crazy. Anyway, it doesn't matter to any of you, or at least it shouldn't. I mean, like I guess just for the entertainment of the show, it matters. It's fun, but no, you should. It shouldn't. It's just me mumbling. I don't know. No, I'm not gonna. Why is my mic all twisted here? Stuff's crazy in here today. I feel like one of the cats may have been in here. I think I know which one. She's been in hell of a mood, rubbing on everything. Alright. One more round of this yellow ochre. You kind of have to do these things in stages. You really have to like do a coat of the yellow and then let it hang out, dry, set up, cure, and then come back and add it if you feel like you need because you don't ever really know. Yellow ochre is a weird one. Especially when you're trying to fade in things. We're trying to get a fade from that umber color into the ochre color. Leave some of that other brown behind for shadow effects. There is an art to it. Blah, blah, blah. That's just me being a goofball. Don't y'all worry. Now, I had contemplated taking the mold lines off this thing, but I've decided I don't care. We're just going to paint it with mold lines on it. We're not going to stress it. I mean, I guess I should have said that a long time ago in this particular series, but I didn't. Normally, I would have just taken off. I think there's a line right there. It's called mold line. Normally, I would have taken that off. But I plan on, I'm just going to sell this thing for, I don't know, $35 or something like that. Get it out of here. Well, I don't know how much I'm going to sell for it right now, because golly, what's coming up next, like I said, these tariffs on and all the gaming stuff is going to get more expensive. Really thinking about trying to figure out how to make a dice manufacturer here in the States, because all the big dice brands are made overseas. If it's not China, then I think there's one old English company that makes dice in England, but they've got the same tariff. I mean, their tariff isn't quite as high as China's, but you know, the Asia's is where they make that stuff. It just is. It's crazy. That's helpful. That's a whole lot better. It looks a whole lot more yeller now. Old Yeller. They shot Old Yeller. Oh well, man, I should have said spoilers. If you don't know listen, if you don't know that Old Yeller got shot by now, I don't know what to tell you, man. Well, I mean, honestly, if you don't know if Old Yeller got shot, you're either probably not from the U.S., or you're a kid. You shouldn't be on here watching this because I say profane things, and you just kids. It's not your place. That's okay. It's cool. But like, yeah, no, this ain't the place. I'm gonna say profane shit like that. See, I've been some profanity. Oh man, I didn't make the 10-minute mark. That's a shame. It's not like I get monetized anyway. We just have a good time here. That's the whole gig. I ain't worried about all that other stuff. Although we are at like 334, so welcome all new subscribers. If I didn't say that yesterday, I'm gonna say that today. Big welcome to all the new subscribers. If that slipped my mind yesterday, because it's super cool. We picked up like, I don't know. I feel like we were at 330 before this weekend. We picked up a gang of subscribers this weekend. That little Cthulhu model brought in a bunch of people. I should definitely do more I should do more known things. Like if I started painting Batman and stuff like that, I'd probably get a lot more hits. People love Batman. Yeah, paint some superheroes and stuff. People like that stuff. And it's more universal. It's like a lot of different people like it. You know, a lot of people like D, but a lot more people are familiar with comics, Batman in particular. You know, Batman, Superman, Iron Man, Captain America. all those things are gonna really do well. I gotta beat the piss out of it like Bob Ross used to say. Bobby. It's way too much paint on that brush. I'm gonna come in here and try to clean up any of these places that maybe we got a little bit too much. Overpaint. Sometimes when you're dry brushing or when we were still, before you put it on the handle and not finishing it, we hadn't quite gotten to this stage, but you can wear stuff off. Anytime it gets dropped, sometimes you'll knock stuff off it. You can also clean up any of these places maybe where I overstriked on the spines. I don't think it is too bad, honestly. Just this little one up top is kind of hard to get out. Make sure. Sometimes I get halfway through a program and I'm not checking it all out, but we're good. I really should do that more. I can make sure it's all running right. I don't know, sometimes I can be kind of daft that way. I'm never going to get done painting spines and claws on this thing. It's got so many. He's got so many. At least I think it's he. You'd think the main would tell you that he's a he, but you know, it's you can't really tell. I guess I could have sculpted one on there. But that just seems like overkill. That seems unnecessary. Although it would be hilarious. Just wanted to make sure my Manticore was a man. Definitely feel like I'm getting better with staying in camera. I feel like when I look over there, I'm out of camera less than I was when we very first started. So big, you know, I gave the shout out to the new subscribers. So big shout out to any of my subscribers that have been here from the beginning and watched off and on. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate you. You know who you are. Probably gonna have to paint those finish those spines off one more time just to touch them up. Hopefully I can get in here and highlight this without doing too much. It's weird, I have to touch, it's like my fingers have to hold hands to get this to stay upright. I don't know why this works, but it does. Stretch them hands out a little, drink it. Whew, okay. Oh. Oh. That handle's a lot heavy. That handle's a lot heavier than the other one. Hold on, I gotta check this market because it's been crazy. Still crazy. I knew it was coming. It's going back red. It's going to end up back red for the day. Wild. Craziness. So, I'll tell you this. So from an old man perspective. Like, you can't move too fast with certain things. Some things can, some things can't. Move too fast with some things, move fast, break things. It just, you cannot control how people panic. You can cause a panic. That's easy. That part's easy to do. Controlling a panic, that's hard. Just because of the unpredictability of humans. You don't actually know what people are going to do under stress. You can get a pretty good idea, and there's a pretty good cycle of things that we do when we panic as humans. That's normal. You know, we if it's certain stimuli, you kind of know exactly how people react, but not always. So you just got to be careful when you upset the balance of humanity in certain ways, because what can happen is just super unpredictable, and it's a gamble. The whole thing that's going on here right now is all a big gamble, which is super dangerous. But I don't know. We'll see. The thing that you got to do with life, though, when you're in one position, is play the hand you're dealt. Whatever hand that is. Figure out how to make a better hand. That's the game. That's the game of life. It ain't always easy, and it's sometimes the deck's stacked against you. Most of the time. the deck's stacked against you. You just gotta keep slugging. I could have given up when I lost all my cooking career, but I didn't. Started trying to make a new career, so we decided to be an artist. Here we are. We're doing this thing, right? You guys, if you don't know me from the outside world, then that's how you found me. You didn't even know me as a chef. You knew me as you met me as an artist, which is pretty cool. Just little highlights there. Just give him just a little bit extra on those little digits. Just a touch. We don't get too crazy. Clean that up. Alright, so it's a little Naples yellow and some burnt umber. When you're trying to make a highlight, there we go. It's probably something like that. Hopefully we can do this without getting too much onto the spines themselves. Oof. A little shaky this morning, a little shaky. It's all good. I just gotta remember to breathe, and everything's gonna be good. Everything's gonna be fine. It'll get easier as we go down. And it's such a little thing that you almost don't even notice that it was done. Unless you see one that's like, if you saw one that was done like this and one that wasn't next to each other, you'd be able to tell the difference. But otherwise you wouldn't. Just working the space where that light is hidden. And that's why they call them highlights, right? There we go. Object here is just to catch the edges of his hairs with this slightly lighter color. And you could go as light as you want. You can make it lighter, you can make it redder, you can make it, you know, lions, they all have very different manes, so you can really kind of have some fun with it. Worry about too much of the underneath. We don't need to get too much pigment on that. But this highlight color underneath his chin's in full shadow, so you could do a little bit there if you felt like it was too dark. You know, especially right up here in the front. Maybe frame his face, but we don't need to worry about anything that's way back in there. You see I'm pulling my strokes down like the light would hit. You get up here, you just kind of pull them across. You pull them one way and then the other way if you want. Because we can really put some light. You can lighten this up here pretty good. Can't dry brush in here because it's all too fine and we don't really want to mess with those spines. I'm going to put another color on them to highlight them. Just here on the top, this is a little bit of that same stuff, but with just a tiny bit of ochre in it. Same idea here, working with the sun, with where our light, we can straight ochre. We got a little bit of that umber Naples mix with a little bit of that ochre in there. Heck yeah. Once that dries and sets up, that'll really have a great look. Okay, so where's our trusty dry brush back out? Still a little wet. Got to hustle. Got to hustle. Time. Not really worried about doing a lot here. Just really just pour out some highlights. Very close to that same color anyway, so we should be good with the two different base tones. They won't disappear into each other, and a little bit of that fading will actually overall help with what we're doing. On the tops. Okay, great. Now we're just going to finish up these spines, do the bottom. Let's go ahead and knock out quick base coat down here. Glad I can raise that up, honestly. Really gonna make painting that little spot in there a whole lot easier. Put your strikes on it. My dang old hand sometimes just drops things. It's so weird. I didn't used to just drop stuff. Now I'm like all of a sudden just like, ooh, and my hand just gives up and drops stuff. Luckily I'm getting better about like feeling the difference. Like, oh, my hands are getting a little fatigued. I need to take a short break. It's for paint anyways. Hey, Sir McBeardsly. Hey, no worries. Awesome, man. Good luck, Grandpa. Get your injections in, bro. Glad you're still with us. To the legends that are still here. Oh. Almost done. Almost done. This is cool. We're right on time too, I think. Aren't we? Let's see. My time bar is gone. 10:37. Hell yeah, we're doing good. Stab that microphone with the back of this brush. Oh, this is gonna look interesting. It's gonna look like the gravel's going up underneath this rock on this. Gravel. Just to make it easy. Sell it. We can add some plants and such too if we want to. I got plenty of that stuff. I love a little extra terrain fluff. It's always a fun addition. Since he's just standing on a giant rock slab, might as well put a little something in there, right? The underneath of him is boring as hell. Hands getting tinty. Oh. Sometimes, like, I sit wrong in this chair and my toes start to fall asleep. Okay. I think I gotta fix that. Sometimes, getting old is really weird. Cruising down the street in my 6'4". that definitely helped make him look more yellow. Okay, so next we got to do all our spikes in our highlight. So we're gonna get some more of that Naples yellow. It's a nice sunshine, shiny kind of color, right? Creamy yellow. Black. That's a Mars black. It's gonna make kind of a yellowy gray. Should be perfect for what we want to do. Go with dry brushing again. Those differences and the individual spikes. Get that little bit of that color just to show the tips and edges and whatnot. Gives them a little bit of a different color from the rest. It'd be especially important on those. And you could play around with different colors. You can make it a little bit more like a reddish gray if you wanted, or brownish grays. You can do anything you want. You just don't want it to be solid black all the way through, because you need some sort of highlight to make it look natural. I'll do the same. I'm actually going to end up doing the same thing on those slabs. All their fingers and claws are all one color. There's no differentiation between them. And just that little bit, it helps. Very carefully. Again, we're just trying to catch the tips. All right. Looking good, looking good. Okay. Now this, we do want a little bit of titanium white. Looking great on time. this with a dry brush too, but I don't really want to do that because I don't want to rub anything off, and there's a lot of tight angles here. I'd really just rather avoid. And you can dry brush with a regular brush too if you're careful about it, like this. You don't want to do it too often with brushes you like. It will tear up a brush that you like pretty darn fast. I'm actually, this brush I'm pushing through. For those of you who follow the channel for a while, you know I try to get brushes and then like put them through a lot of different tests here on the channel and then my other work so I can kind of review them. I have a couple of brushes that I don't treat quite so harshly, but these utility brushes like this is a utility brush, so I kind of want to really kick its butt. You know, we want to see what it can do. We want to really rip it up, really beat the shit out of it. For better lack of word, beat the hell out of the thing. See if it can take it. Alright, got the little whites and they're done. Come back. Hit it with a raw umber wash. And that's just a real thin coat of paint. We're just kind of gonna dab it. Really looking to just make it look like dirt in the crevices and on some of the surfaces. Really helps bring in that more natural look to the rock itself. And may even come in later and do yet another round of like highlights on the rocks. The rock part of it. Kind of depends on how it looks like when it dries really. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes it looks great just as it is, and sometimes it's a little too blue, and you just kind of gotta wait and see what it's gonna do. And we'll have to let it dry to do anything else to it. So you'll have to wait for the reel, or whatever it's called, shorts. What is it on YouTube? Shorts. It's called shorts. So you have to wait for the short to come out to see what it's finally gonna look like. I am gonna add a little bit of, I'll probably add weed or two here, there, and we'll add some gravel and stuff. The Manticore. The Manta done. Almost done. Like I said, I'll do that other stuff off camera probably today. Maybe not. Maybe tomorrow. It depends on how I'm feeling. It definitely depends on how I'm feeling after the thing dries, because it takes a while for all that to dry up. But like I said, we'll add stuff to it after it dries. we'll get it in the spin. It'll be in there this weekend, so we'll have another shorts to come up at least this weekend. I think I'm gonna keep that with like trying the Thursday, Friday drops. They seem to work out really, really well. I didn't get till Saturday on Cthulhu. I feel like I'd have gotten in earlier. I could have gotten more hits. So we're gonna try to get those things in as early as possible. But no more robotics tournaments for the week for this year actually. I mean next year, which sucks. But it's also okay. You know, 2 in a row is that's pretty wild. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Be good to somebody, random somebody. Be good to a stranger. It'll help. I promise. If we all, if I shouldn't say all. So like, I feel like if 5% of the population just started being like a little bit nicer, then the whole world would just kind of get a little nicer. At least the state or the country. Who knows? It gets pretty wild over here. Traffic's pretty brutal. People get really angry. They do crazy stuff. They should be a little kinder. They're not, but they should be. Yeah. Anyway, you guys are awesome. I appreciate everyone so much that comes by and watches and likes and comments and all that stuff. You guys are awesome. Thanks again, Sir McBeardsly, for not ever presently coming in and making sure everything looks okay and works all right. But yeah, I do appreciate it. It's very helpful. Anyway, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We're going to talk to you later. Bye.